Welcome to the Better Rate Mortgage Studio. My name is John Wojtovich. I'm the owner of Better Rate Mortgage. I'm here with one of our newer loan officers here, Shane Thomas. Shane, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. Glad to have you on the team. You've been with us for what, about 4 months now?
4 months, yeah.
Awesome. We've been doing fantastic. For those who don't know, Shane has been doing a fantastic. Came out of the gate killing it, helping out all of his clients. We're really, really proud of the work he's been doing. So, Shane, tell us a little about yourself. You've been in this industry for a while. Give us your backstory.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry for actually, almost 15 years now. Really, I started right out of high school. I've been in sales, love customer service, really love helping all my clients. Really started off with, a friend of mine actually used to work at Sprint and moved over to the banking side. So I followed him. He said he really loved it. Mm-hmm. And then I also worked at about 8 years at Wholesale Mortgage, which is the largest wholesale lender in the country. Loved it there, and then moved over on the broker side, which is, I think, the best place for a client for sure. So
yeah, and that's where you and I met, was at Wholesale Mortgage. We were both account executives there. So tell us a little about your role when you're an AE there. What did that entail? What did you learn there? Give us a little background on that.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was there for 8 years, learned a ton, working with mortgage brokers across the country. As an account executive, you really help, nurture loan officers, help them build their business, help them learn how to, give the best client experience overall.
That's fantastic. One thing I can attest to working with you there, you were always on top of your clients, making sure they were happy, make sure everyone was in the best spot possible. So we're so blessed to have you on the team.
Appreciate it.
Now, you mentioned that you worked at a bank a little bit. Give us some perspective, the banks versus brokerage. Let's hear your take on that.
Yeah, so definitely, completely different worlds. On the banking side, let's differ the hours, 9 to 5, a lot of red tape. I always say, it's not the best place for a client. I think the best place is definitely on the mortgage broker side. We have a lot more options, faster, easier, cheaper. I'm available, nights and weekends, even holidays. So I actually just got a client over the weekend at 10 o'clock at night. I had a realtor call me, needed a pre-approval. And this market's crazy right now. So we were able to get the offer accepted as well. So if you were going to a bank, you're not going to get that type of service. So
absolutely. And I've spoken with some of your clients, even after they close, and they're more than happy with everything you've been doing. So we love seeing that. You mentioned that, you're working these nights and weekends. Let's be real. A bank isn't going to.
100%.
5 p.m. they're out. Have a great day.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you want a home, sorry, you'll be there tomorrow. So, but that's one thing that we have the advantage on. So would you say a broker, at the end of the day, you're a shopper, right? You're not just looking at one lender. What are you looking for when you have a client that you get their profile and you're looking what the best option is? Give us a brief rundown on what you do.
Yeah. So, when I get a client, again, going back to bank versus broker, if I was at the bank, I would only have one option. I would have one product, but since I'm at Better Rate Mortgage, we actually work with over a dozen lenders. So I have so much more opportunity to give, the best place for the borrower, with rate, the product, the service that we were able to provide.
Perfect. And for those who don't know, that a loan is customized to every client. There's not one size fits all. We may have one client that makes sense for them to go to one lender, say United Wholesale Mortgage. Another one might be one of our lender partners, Caliber. Whatever is going to make the most sense for the client. At the end of the day, we're here for them. And Shane, you have always exemplified that, and that's one thing I love by having you on the team. Now, you've obviously owned a home for a little while. You have your own. You've had a couple. Mm-hmm. What are some things you wish you would have known when you first bought your first house?
Great question. I didn't even know what a mortgage was back then. So, the biggest thing, I think, definitely talking to a professional, asking the right questions. What are the down payment options? Especially in the market right now, it's so competitive, making sure you have the right realtor, in this competitive market. So definitely things like that.
Yeah. These having the right realtor, having the right team behind you can make or break every deal. I know
100%.
I can't count how many times I've reached out to a listing agent trying to go over the pre-approval, and just because they've worked with me in the past, or they've known me, they've been willing, or they worked with one of our team. I had a listing agent that actually worked with you on a deal that, because we were within the same company, knew that we had our shit together. They knew we were going to take care of them. They actually accepted our offer over somebody else's. So, reputation is everything. I appreciate all the hard work you do.
Appreciate it.
When you're buying your first home, when you have a client, what are some red flags you want them to be watching out for?
I mean, definitely the red flags you definitely want to look out for is, you want to make sure that your income's in place. Make sure you're not shuffling around money within your bank accounts, because underwriter is going to look at that, make sure you're not going out and applying for another credit card. Obviously you want to get new furniture, wait till the loan is closed. So things like that. So don't get yourself in a pickle. Don't go out and buying a new car, anything like that, because that can ruin your opportunity buying that house.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again where somebody 3 days before closing decides they want to buy a new car, and they want to buy a truck because they want it's going to help them move, and just implodes the whole deal.
Exactly. And again, that goes back to making sure you're working with the right people.
Right. And that is one thing we at Battery, we foreshadow a lot. You are going to know what's going on throughout the process, every step of the way, and know what's looking out. There was what was that story we used to hear at UWM? If you're going through a haunted house and you know that the guy with the chainsaw is going to run up on the left, you don't care when he shows up.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Same thing with us here on the mortgage side.
Absolutely.
If you know what's going on, it's easy. So, what are your thoughts on this market? Obviously, this is a very, very competitive market. What are you seeing?
I'm definitely seeing, as we see, with inflation, the issues we're having with inflation, rents keep rising. So, people that are renting, the rent's going to keep on rising. Rates are looking to anticipate to go higher even this year. Values are going up. So right now is a really good time to buy a house. Next year they're talking about, maybe the rates will subside with, we're talking about maybe, a lot of things happening next year, but let's think about what's happening now. Because if you're renting, the rent's going to keep going up. You're not building equity. You're not building wealth with a home. So it's so important to own a home. 100%.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. If you're going to invest for your future, invest in real assets. I hate to speak ill of any kind of this crypto stuff and all that stuff. I've never been a fan of anything I can't invest in, go touch. A home, I can go walk up, touch it, know it's there.
Yep.
You may live there for a few years, you may rent it out, but at least it's an investment in your future.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that's owned a home in the last 3 years, they've gotten so much more equity in their house. So
absolutely,
years before that too. So
absolutely, and you have something that you can invest in for the long term. There's so many different options that you can utilize. One thing I know I've been seeing a lot of, maybe you can attest this as well, is people taking a lot of cash out of their homes. They may have an interest rate going up, but they're leveraging that to start buying some of these rentals to invest for their future. Have you been seeing anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of people leveraging. I mean, the home values have never been higher in the history. So right now is a great time to leverage the equity in your home, either consolidating debt, home improvements, or even using that money to invest in other properties.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I've been seeing. I'm glad to see your clients are seeing the same thing and
Absolutely.
taking advantage of their money. Let's be real. Equity in home is great, but if money in the bank, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And leverage that money use the bank's money. Use that. That's what the wealthy does. So.
Now, one thing I've been getting a lot of questions about from some of our clients that are a little nervous. They're asking about a crash and, when's the crash going to happen? Me personally, I think it's wishful dreaming from people who want to eventually buy homes. They're hoping for another one. That's kind of my thought. I don't foresee that ever happening again. What are your thoughts?
No, 100% agree. I mean, there's not enough homes on the market, so there's more millennials that are looking to buy homes right now. So there's not going to be a crash. I don't really know the default rate with any mortgage right now is less than like 1%. So back in 2008, the default rate was historic highs. So
5-7% at one point.
Exactly. So I mean, there's not enough builders. There's not enough houses being built. So I definitely don't see a crash. Definitely not this year or even next year or even anytime soon.
That's where our economy is structured with the money that's coming in from outside investors, everything like that. I don't foresee that being a possibility in the next 20 years.
I don't either. I mean, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government put in a lot of restrictions from 2008. So I don't see that. Absolutely, it's not happening.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're on the same page with that. So shifting gears here a little bit, let's talk about you, Shane. Like, you've been in the mortgage industry for a long time. Talk to us a little about you. Like, you married, kids. Talk to us about you.
Yeah. So I'm married. I have a 9-year-old son. He's in baseball right now. Loves it. Love being a family guy. Love the independence of being a mortgage broker and have the work-life balance. It's been great working here at Better Rate Mortgage. Like I said, it's never been better for a borrower to get a home and work with a mortgage broker. We're the best place to be.
Perfect. Yeah. And, we really appreciate it. We love having you on the team. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been fantastic sitting and chatting with you. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know our audience is extremely happy to learn a little bit more of our team. And, thank you so much for everything you do. We really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.